to you a little bit about the old State Bank and a few of the spirits that still reside there. So the Old State Bank was built in 1833 for $9,482. It was a Decatur branch of the state of Alabama banking system, a new system which didn't last very long. It failed. And by 1842, the bank was closed, so not even 10 years in business as a bank. It stayed deserted for just a little bit, and by the time the Civil War starts, the bank is a private residence. During the Civil War, the bank was actually used as a field hospital, quarters for the soldiers, as well as a supply depot. The bank got to see a little bit of battle as well. The battle for Decatur was fought pretty much in front of the Old State Bank. In fact, if you go up to the building, you can still see the scars of that battle. You can see where the columns were clipped by Confederate cannons and many balls. Like Winter was talking about and said, Decatur was extremely strategically important to both the Union as well as the Confederate soldiers. If you can control Decatur, you can control a lot of movement, with soldiers as well as supplies on the river and on the railroad. And as a result, Decatur actually changes hands multiple times, which really decimates the city as a whole. By the end of the war, they said that even the wealthy were wanting for bread. And General Pettus with the Confederacy said he had never seen a country more decimated, more desolate than in Decatur. So at the fall of 1864, the Union occupies Decatur with a very small amount of troops, only about 3,000 troops. And Confederate General Hood is looking for a place to cross the Tennessee River to get all the way to Nashville so that they can try to reclaim Nashville. And he's looking for a place to cross, and Decatur looks like a really good location. The Union soldiers had built a pontoon bridge all the way across the river. And he's only got 3,000 soldiers in the city, whereas Hood has around 23,000. So surely this is the best place to take it and cross the river. It's not going to be quite so easy though. When the Union general here in Decatur realizes that he's being closed in by the Confederacy, he sends a message up to General Thomas in Nashville to send reinforcements. And so General Thomas dispatched 2 regiments from Chattanooga to come and reinforce General Granger here in Decatur, and sends a message also that they are to hold their position here in Decatur at all costs. So on October 26, 1864, General Hood with the Confederacy brings his men and they surround Decatur. It's pouring rain, it's an absolutely miserable day, and they start digging trenches on the outside of the city. They're going to dig in. This is going to be a fight to the end. Hood has to cross, and Granger has to defend at all costs. The next day, it's extremely thick fog, and somehow the Union soldiers, every time that the Confederates would advance, the Union soldiers were able to hold their line and even push back just a little bit. It's not going well for Hood. And by the 29th, he realizes he has another problem as well. He had never sent word ahead that his soldiers would need more rations or some extra supplies. He never sent that on ahead. He didn't think that it was a good investment at this time. And so by the 29th, his men are hungry. A lot of them don't have shoes. And so he makes the decision that he's going to retreat. And when he does, he goes on to battle in Franklin, Tennessee, and one in Nashville as well. A defeat in Franklin, and by the time he gets to Nashville, his entire army is wiped out, absolutely decimated. For the losses in the Confederacy in the Battle of Decatur, they suffered somewhere between 500 to 1,500 casualties. The Union only suffered about 155, so a resounding victory for the Union officers. But at the end of the war, Decatur was unrecognizable from the city it was before. Only 5 buildings stood by the river at the end of the war. Such turmoil and struggle has ramifications not only on our physical world, but also on the spiritual world as well. There's residual haunting of the soldiers inside of the bank. You go inside and you may have a feeling of it's too crowded, it's too hot, and you feel anxious all of a sudden. Maybe you feel like you can't go out that front door. It's safer to go out back. This be a little more sneaky about it. So we were doing a little bit of research, and yeah, at one point when they were quartering the soldiers in the bank, they had 2 separate companies inside. It's about 200 men crowded inside of that bank in July. So you can imagine how cramped and how hot those men must have been. And the fear of not going out the front door, going out the back, is, even though Decatur was occupied, the citizens weren't necessarily happy about it. And so if they had a chance to take off a Union soldier or two, well, all the better to have a few less. So if you were not careful going out that front door, that might be the last step that you take. Much safer to go out the back. There are also 2 women that people have seen. One on the 2nd floor, a middle-aged woman with her hair back in the bun, wearing a light blue dress. And she stands and watches out the window as if she's surveying the area. She's guarding something. Perhaps maybe the resident that lived there at the beginning of the Civil War, still watching as soldiers approach her town and approach her home. And then one of the most reported ones is on the bottom floor. A young woman, absolutely heartbroken and grieving. She shows that she's weeping, and the people sense her nearby. They're overcome with a sense of heartbreak, kind of longing, and of wanting to make some kind of a connection, somebody to recognize her pain and suffering, and someone to extend a little bit of sympathy for the man who will never come back home to her. So thank you guys so much for listening to our stories a little bit. If you are in the area of the Old State Bank tomorrow at 6 o'clock, be sure and come out and hear more of our ghost stories and more of our history. We're delighted to get to speak with you guys, and thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Video production made possible by the National Trail of Tears Association. The Trail of Tears Association is a nonprofit, membership-based organization established in 1993 with the purpose of passing the history of this significant event in Native American history onto future generations. If you're interested in finding out more about the Trail of Tears Association or would like to become a member, please visit our website at www.nationaltoda.com. There, you can learn more about the National Association, the state chapters, as well as how to become a member. To connect with the association for upcoming events and to be notified when future videos are released, be sure to like the Trail of Tears Association Facebook page and subscribe to our National Trail of Tears Association YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching this video and for your support.